G'day guys, and today I'm going to review the grand final for 2018. Yeah, a little bit late for the party, I know. It's been a pretty hectic weekend and finally getting around to doing a little bit of the review of the biggest game of the year. And what a game for the ages, hey? 5 points the difference. Dom Shee kicks the winner. So much drama, so much happened during this game, and to be honest, I'm probably going to miss some crucial moments because there was that many. But I look forward to discussing it. I did have a fair few drinks on this day, so I haven't watched it full in its entirety, completely, yes, uninhibited, I guess. But I'll do my best. I remember the first half quite well. The second half's a little bit shady, but I'll give it a red hot crack anyway. I've watched a few footy shows and stuff to sort of go through the key points and whatnot. But yeah, it was the Pies kicking the first 5 goals of the game. It was quite an impressive start. After they kicked the fourth one, like West Coast to kid themselves, so I think they can win from here. You can't give a side like Collingwood that kind of start. Fell flat in my face with that one, and there you go. So yeah, ginormous comeback. I think they were 29 down. Was their biggest margin they were down by, and they've managed to just keep clawing back to kick 2 pretty crucial goals right towards the end of the first term. Yeah, the Pies are just running all over them, getting lots of free run and carry, uncontested marks, playing some risk and reward football. And they just didn't allow West Coast any time or space nice and early on. And yeah, it was very tough going for the Eagles. Couldn't quite get the game going the way they like to with their kick mark, sort of control the ball style. And as the game wore on, they sort of slowly got towards the way that they wanted to play. And as it turned out, they got the chocolates in the end. So yeah, half time was pretty level pegging, 2 goals the difference, getting pretty close. And the second half they kicked 7 goals as opposed to their 4 in the first half, and the Pies were just restricted to 5. Yeah, some crazy moments. I'll tell you what. Yeah, the Eagles they started winning some real tough, tight football. They were using it pretty well. They started taking some risks, and they really exposed Collingwood in the air, as it would have been shown, with some big marks I'll discuss with the players soon. But yeah, McGovern, Barras, Kennedy and Darling had a field day. Some of those guys are quiet to half time, but they got the job done once again. I've had a look at some of the stats here. The Eagles had more of the ball inside their 50, probably could have won by more, and I'll discuss some key moments soon. They had more of the footy. The Pies got the clearances though, just won the contested battle, and it is quite amazing. 104 tackles and not winning. Yeah, that's crazy. The Pies pressure was very immense, I must say. Yeah, look, some crucial moments throughout the game. You know, that Willie Rioli with the little, I'm pretty sure it was Rioli that got his foot to the ball, went through, dribbled through, and then I think Darling did that the week before against Melbourne, so they're not bad at those ankle tap behind the backs over the line. That was a critical time. They needed a goal, they needed something. The runner for the Pies, Woodward, I believe, he got in the way of, yeah, I think it was Stevenson potentially. It was a bad kick from Adams. You can't blame the runner in that situation. He shouldn't have been there, but it was a bad kick into the middle. I think there was 2 Eagles players to 1 Collingwood player. Yo ended up taking the mark and kicking a humongous goal. I think that they put him in front for the first time for the afternoon. Yeah, McGovern obviously is the biggest one of the day, I should say. Where he tried to go in behind the back. He didn't go with McGovern, probably should have. And what do you know? McGovern takes a massive screamer, plays on quickly, beautiful kick, and one of the perfect passages of play you're likely to see. Yeah, so that was another poor decision, and I feel like there's plenty more. Jack Darling, luckily this one didn't come back to haunt him, but he dropped an absolute sitter outside of the goal square when they were up by 4 points. Had he have dropped, had they have lost from there, I don't reckon he'd ever play ever again. Would have been, you could not get over that. 2 poor grand final performances and just not being able to take the moment once again. And yeah, I think he froze a little bit. He was a little bit overawed, but he played a reasonable game. overall by his lofty standards. Obviously, Dom Sheed and Maynard, was it a block? I've looked at it a few times, and you have to argue technically yes, but Real also sort of contesting without contesting. Yeah, we've seen less pay. They did err on the side of caution late in the piece, and yeah, it'd be controversial either way. But yeah, Dom Sheed, probably the biggest moment of the game, biggest moment of his life, biggest moment of the Eagles' tenure in the in the AFL. Just coolly slotted it through, drop punt, no dramas at all. He just said, "I'm going to kick this goal," and he certainly did. It was a sensational kick, and that will go down the memory books forever. Yeah, so that was about it for the game. Yeah, the Eagles were just too tough for too long, good enough for long enough, and the Pies, yeah, they just didn't play that aggressive style in the second half. Buckley's admitted it. They probably went a bit safer. Don't know why you'd go away from what got you in the position to win in the first place. I know you can lose potentially by more or put yourself in greater danger, but I also reckon that put you up 5 goals, and you can put yourself up by 10 goals rather than save to get to 3 goals, and then you're in real striking distance. But that's okay. A big success for Collingwood this year, minus the flag, and it was very interesting going into this game with the Eagles losing, I think, 2 of their last 3 grand finals. I think Collingwood in the exact same boat. So the Eagles, they won 06, they lost 05, and then they lost 15. And then Collingwood, they lost 2011, won 2010 after the draw. And I reckon there was another time pretty recently, but they lost that one. So it was just so controversial, I reckon. So I'll move into some votes. Sort of tough to really go away from. Yeah, look, I can pick probably 4 players and 5 players maybe. Well, I'm going to go do a top 5 maybe. I don't know. Shuey obviously has to get the 3 votes, 34 touches, got a few grabs in there, 8 tackles, and a crucial goal, crucial time. It was a ball in the contest all day, 90 contested possessions, really stood up from the front. Yeah, massive reason they went on to win. Huge game from Shuey, and he'll be very happy with that performance. And he'll be an Norm Smith medalist forever. What have we got next? It's a real toss-up here. I have to probably go... Oh, golly. I'm going to have to go Josh Kennedy for the 2. 18 touches, 11 marks. 4 tackles, 3 goals too, which was huge. And I'll have to give the 1 vote to Dom Sheed, purely because of the moment. Adams obviously would be next, and then I really like Chris Mayne's game. But yeah, Dom Sheed, 32 touches, 6 grabs, and kicked the winning goal. I thought with Kennedy's goal craft there, he missed a couple, but it was quite significant. So good in the air, and really went to town on the Pies back line. And yeah, there was so many good players here. I mean, Barras took 10 marks. Kennedy took 11 marks, and I reckon Darling took 7 marks. He was dominant in the second half. 9 marks to McGovern. So huge. Trelaw was pretty decent, and I thought Mayne 14 tackles. I thought he was going to be winning an All Smith at one stage, because whenever I looked up, I saw Mayne near the ball or tackling or doing something, so he was really good. Grundy had a bit of an off day. Phillips didn't have his best day at the office. Cox was serviceable with a couple of goals. Langdon did pretty well for the Pies. Yeah, there was some reasonable performances. To go was elite, 2 goals from outside 50 was sensational. Sidebottom held to 14 touches. He won't be too happy with that one, but yeah. So as to moving on to next year, the Eagles 10 out of 10, Pies 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic years from these clubs. No one in the world would have picked West Coast and Collingwood to make the grand final. And I mean, if you did, you'd be purely guessing, and 1 in a million chance to pick it. So going into 2019. Be very interesting to see how these sides go next year. If they bounce back, are they going to be back in the top 4? Who knows? It'll be watch this space. But I reckon the Eagles will be hanging thereabouts with their home ground record, and I reckon the Pies might stagnate or go down a touch. But will be very interesting to see how it all goes and how it all pans out. So that's the review, guys, for the grand final. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe away as well. It'd be great. And cheers for hanging around. I'll see you guys next time.